again, all I'm doing is just continuing to do, removing them. I don't remember if I did this one, so I'm just going to do it again. That was 14, looks like it was my belt. So did I do the belt yet? I guess I did this one already. Oh well, I'll do it again. I select 14, I go down, assign it, and then I select the BS Lighting Shader property, go in here, and remove SF Skinned. As you see, this is a really easy process here that I'm doing. I'm creating a ground item. That's the whole concept of what I'm doing here. Now, I've seen other tutorials on creating ground items where they want you to change all these numbers and all this other crap, and you spend hours on end and then it still doesn't work in game. And you get really angry. That's why I decided this is probably the best way to teach you guys how to do it, because this is what I do. I mean, this is how I go about it. Because it's a real time saver. I mean, think if this was just I had merged all these pieces, and this would have been just like a one-time thing. I would have had to change one or two textures, and remove the skin from one or two items, and been all done with this already. But at least you get to see it done several times, so you get the idea that every time you replace the BS Lighting Shader property, you want to go ahead and remove the skinned. That's all done. Alright, now we have everything changed. We don't want to write over ground item. We want to save over the other ground item that we just exported, because we don't need it anymore. It's all in here now. So go ahead and File, click Save As, and this is why I told you to put it in your folder, because it'll automatically open this window. It makes things a lot quicker. And we're going to select Torso Go. Alright, because that's the one we just created. And we're just going to save over it. You want to replace it? Yes, I do. Alright, now we're done with this window here. You can close it and close that window. And now we have Torso Go, but we need to actually assign this to something in game. We need to assign it to our torso. So open up your creation kit. And if you guys recall, you go to File, Data, double check your Skyrim, then go down to your ESP for your custom armor and check it, and then Set as Active File. While it's selected, you click Set as Active File and select OK, and hit, any errors pop up, you just ignore them or whatever, and just hit Yes to all. Alright, so now in Armor, so you want to go straight to Armor because this is where we need to assign it. So go to your Armor, open up your 01 Nidus C Torso or your torso file or whatever you've created this ground item for, and you got to see that over here in Mail, there's the world model. This is the inventory item. This is the thing you drop on the ground. The inventory item, what you see when you open it and look at it in your inventory, is the same thing that you see when you drop it on the ground. It's the same image. Well, I want to replace this world model. Now, I can just replace it in Mail because it'll show, this is something to keep in mind. If something is assigned as a world model for the male but not assigned to anything for the female, it will show up for both. However, if something is assigned to the female and not assigned to the male, I do not believe it will show up. As a basic rule of thumb, I always assign the world model for both the male and for the female, even if it's just for the female. That way, if I'm playing a male character and I have a female companion, I can still see it when I'm crafting it. Or another thing to keep in mind, let's say you have two different variants of the same armor. You've created an armor, you have a male version, and you have a female version. Well, you're going to want to create a ground item for the male version, and you're going to want to create a ground item for the female version. That way, if you're playing a guy and you're creating some armor, and you're creating the male version, but you're seeing a chest plate with boobs on it, you're not going to want to craft it and wear it, unless you're into that. It's not that there's anything wrong with that. Go into Mail and go ahead and select Edit, and under World Model you click Edit, and you'll notice that this is Daedric Cuirass Go for this one because I replaced the Daedric Armor. I'm just going to change this, so I'm going to select Edit and Modify File Name, and I got to go to my armor, so my armor folder where I assign that, where I put that Go. So I put in Armor 1 Nidus C, and I select Torso Go because that's what I just created, and I select Open. And there you have it. You'll see your ground item just laying there. If it's poking through the ground a little bit like this is, don't worry about it, because in game it uses an engine, and it won't, physics engine, and it won't actually poke through the ground like that. It'll bounce off the ground because it's an object that's assigned to the collision object. Anyways, now I have this all set up in here. I might have forgotten to remove the specular that occurs. Oh wait, never mind. I'm sorry. We fixed that already because we took the texture from one and put it on the other. That's right. So anyways, I got this set up. Now, like I said, just ignore that. If that pops up, just ignore it. It doesn't matter. Like I said, I got it all set up here. It's assigned. Now, you only have to assign the male. You don't have to assign the female if it's just for one or the other sex. It doesn't matter. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave the female alone. I'm not even going to worry about it. And I'm going to go ahead and test this out in game. So I'll select OK here, because now I have the ground item assigned. So I select OK. And I select Save. And I'm just going to minimize this and go ahead and open up Skyrim and see how it looks. Alright, so here I am in game. As you can see, I'm just in Riverwood. It's bad to test ground items in the White Room because the White Room's kind of weird. The Studio Room, it seems like stuff falls through the ground and stuff. I don't know why that is, that it happens there and not in other places. Anyways, I find my torso, the Nidacy torso. Where did I put it? Right here. And as you can see, now it has a graphic inside the window where people can actually see what it is that they're crafting or picking up or putting down. And not to mention, I can also drop it. And there it is on the ground. And as you see, it works just fine. You know, I can kick it. I can pick it up and, you know, kind of move it around. It's just a basic world item. And there you have it. You just created a ground item for Skyrim. So I will show you a little bit more. You know, I'll do it one more time around, probably with something really simple like a helmet, just so I don't have to go through that whole process again. Alright, so back in 3DS, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to select File, New File, and I'm going to import my helmet this time. So find that helmet, which was the helmet light. Select Open, and we don't want a skeleton. Select Import. And here's my helmet. I'm just going to select Rotate, and sometimes it'll be down here at the bottom, no big deal, and just rotate it down, and then right click and select Move, and just kind of move it into place, and try to have it just, you know, slightly above. It can poke through a little bit. I usually like to have the white line just slightly through it, so it's just barely above the ground and kind of centered as best I can on this, which that looks fine, no big deal there. And then I need to move the IK pivot, so I go over here and I select this, and I select not the IK, the pivot, and select Effect Pivot Only, and move it to 0, 0, 0, and then I right click on everything and I convert it to an editable mesh. And then I go ahead and export it, File, Export, and I'm going to export it as Helmet Go, and select Save, and delete these vertices and select Export. Alright, then I minimize. I go ahead and I open up the helmet light, put it in this corner, then helmet light or helmet go, and put it over that window. Then I select the ground item, and I just drag that off to the side, and open up the ground item, drop down window, then select this NI tri-shape, hit Control Delete. Then I want to grab my NI tri-shape from the ground that I just created, hit Control Copy, go over here, hit Control V. Now it's assigned. Remember, I selected the BS Fade node to paste to. Remember, you always want to click this, then hit Control V, so it assigns it to that. Then I need to get rid of the BS Lighting shader, so I hit Control Delete, and I close this window, don't need it, and I grab my good BS Lighting shader that we've already set up, hit Control C on it, select over here, Control V, and then select 6 and assign it by typing 8. And then I select it. I go up to the BS Shader Flags 1, double click on that, open it up, deselect Skinned, and save it. File, Save As, and I'm just going to save it over the Helmet Go. So I select Helmet Go and I select Save. I want to replace it? Yes. That's done. That's done. Just close that, and now I have a helmet go. Now, once you're done with all your goes, you do not need this ground item, so you can drag it and, you know, get it out of here because it's no longer necessary. You don't have to leave it in here when you're done. So now I go into the creation kit. I select my helmet, Nidacy helmet, and I assign it. I go edit, edit, go to armors, one Nidacy, and I select my helmet go and select open. And there it is. My big old spikes punk rocker helmet. Select OK. And then I select OK. Now I can go ahead and save this and test it out in game. So then I just go into game. All right, here I am in game again at Riverwood, and I'm just going to hit C, go to my inventory, find the Nidacy helmet, and there it is. You can see it's right there in game. People can see what they're crafting. Now yours should actually be centered. Mine kind of looks off to the left a little bit because I'm in windowed mode, and I got this SKSE warning because I'm not using SKSE because it messes up the videos. The videos won't show if I run SKSE. And there I go. So I can just drop it on the ground, and there's my helmet with the punk rocker spikes. I can kick it like a soccer ball. You know, has a really good movement to it. That's why I've already got all the gravity effects set up for you. So, I mean, this is really, really good file to work with. You can pick it up, move it around, and you can also grab it. So it's just a regular ground item. You just do that with each piece, and as soon as you're done, you know, once you're all done, you can just delete that helmet or that ground item base like I did, get it out of there, and make sure you put it inside your file structure in your zip folder for uploading it to the Nexus. And also make sure you replace the ESP, because remember, you've made changes to the ESP, so you need to change that whenever you update your armor. If you're uploading this to the Nexus, you have to add the ground items, and you need to update the ESP by deleting the ESP from your zip folder and then putting the new ESP that you just worked with into your zip folder. And there you have it. That's ground items. They're very simple. I've set them all up for you, so you'll have an easy time doing it. And I hope you guys enjoy that. Next, for the next tutorial, we're going to start working with I was thinking that we were going to work with the UV maps. I was going to show you how to actually set up pelt mapping and do it correctly, so that way whenever you go to texture your armor, you won't have the seams showing. You know, if you've used a lot of modifiers like symmetry and stuff like that, your UV maps are probably totally out of whack. I've had a couple of people show me some how their textures got all messed up, but that's all fixable, very easy to do. So for the next tutorial, we're going to show how to do proper UV mapping, and then I think the tutorial after that, I'm going to show you how to do proper weight painting. So you'll know how to paint weights on your models. So whenever you have like a skirt or something, it'll actually move correctly, and I'll show you how to do all that. So again, next video, UV mapping, and then the video after that, weight painting. So I'll see you guys next time.